The roar of fighter jets filled the skies over Eastern Europe as NATO forces conducted their largest military exercises in years. Troops from the United States, the United Kingdom, Poland, and the Baltic states carried out drills designed to deter Russian aggression. But while the soldiers trained for conventional warfare, another, more invisible battle was already underway. Deep in the shadows, the GRU, Russia's military intelligence agency, was working to sabotage and disrupt NATO's operations using deception, cyber attacks, and psychological warfare. The GRU's mission was clear: undermine NATO's readiness, create confusion among its forces, and spread distrust between allied nations. They did this through a series of covert operations, ranging from hacking military communications to staging false flag incidents and spreading disinformation. One of their primary tactics was cyber warfare. GRU hackers, operating under aliases like Fancy Bear and APT-28, launched a series of attacks on NATO command centers. They breached military networks, intercepted classified communications, and attempted to disrupt logistical coordination between allied forces. Some attacks were so precise that they delayed military drills, forcing NATO to divert resources to counter the cyber threat. But the GRU's operations didn't stop at hacking. They also engaged in electronic warfare, using jamming equipment to disrupt GPS signals and radar systems. During some exercises, NATO troops suddenly lost satellite navigation, their equipment showing false coordinates, forcing commanders to adjust strategies in real time. These attacks, though unacknowledged by Moscow, were clear signs that Russia was testing its ability to cripple NATO forces without firing a single shot. At the same time, the GRU planted false narratives in the media, hoping to stir internal dissent within NATO. Fake news articles appeared in pro-Kremlin outlets, alleging that American soldiers had committed crimes against civilians in Poland and the Baltic states. Other reports falsely claimed that NATO's presence was illegal, that it was an occupying force, or that European citizens were protesting against it. Russian-controlled troll farms pushed these stories across social media, amplifying them until they gained traction even in Western media. In some cases, the GRU staged incidents designed to provoke NATO forces into making mistakes. In one instance, unidentified men in military uniforms, later revealed to be Russian operatives, harassed NATO patrols near the borders of Estonia and Lithuania, trying to provoke a confrontation that could be used as propaganda. In another, unmarked drones flew dangerously close to NATO bases, conducting surveillance and testing air defenses. Perhaps the most concerning aspect of the GRU's activities was their attempts to infiltrate NATO's ranks. Russian operatives tried to recruit insiders, targeting military personnel and defense contractors with access to sensitive information. In some cases, they posed as journalists, diplomats, or businessmen, offering bribes or blackmailing individuals into cooperation. Despite these provocations, NATO remained steadfast. Military exercises continued, and cybersecurity defenses were strengthened. Intelligence agencies across Europe and the US exposed multiple GRU attempts to interfere, identifying specific units responsible for the cyber attacks and information warfare. Yet, the GRU's covert war against NATO was far from over. Their operations proved that modern warfare was no longer just about tanks and troops. It was about disrupting enemy forces before a war even started. The GRU wasn't just preparing for battle. They were rewriting the rules of conflict, showing that in the new age of warfare, deception and sabotage could be just as powerful as any army.